Thank you.
No, I'm good. Like, let them take care of it.
4 minutes. 4 minutes.
I don't know the timer to start just for me. This is a bad time to start the timer. Yeah. I'm just going to go for it.
All right, for those of you at home, we are back with a 3-minute timer here in the room.
We need a few more engineers.
Yeah, exactly. How many engineers does it take to create a timer, right? All right, so our next talk is going to be by Saravanan Sujit Kaarthik, and the title of his talk is Tiny Valves and Pipes for Tiny Volumes of Fluid. Also, they're 3D printed.
A doctor wants to get a patient tested for a disease, but is not able to do so because the supply of the testing device has been affected by a global pandemic. Ironic, isn't it? But before I get to that, let me talk a little bit about my research. So when you open a tap in your house connected to a supply of water, it initiates a flow that's controlled by a large network of pipes and valves that can be operated by the human hand. Now think of these pipes, but smaller. Now that's not small enough. Think of pipes as small as a couple of strands of your hair put together. That is the size of pipes that you deal with in the micro scale. Now these tiny pipes are extremely useful in the field of medicine, where for instance, a sample of blood as few as a little drop is enough to diagnose multiple diseases by controlling its flow using these tiny pipes on a testing device. Now these tiny pipes are traditionally created by a method that requires a dust-free room for fabrication. And this dust-free room can be expensive and enormous to set up. But what if I told you don't need this setup? What if each and every one of you here could create a device with tiny pipes at the comfort of your own homes? This can be enabled by 3D printing. And the technique of 3D printing that I use create tiny pipes that are elastic, similar to a straw that you get with your drinks. Now, similar to the straw, you can stop the flow in these tiny pipes just by using your fingers, by pressing them down. But how do we make this procedure a little more automatic? That is what my research deals with. Now, instead of using our fingers, I place another elastic pipe on top of the existing pipe, as you can see in the image. Now, when this pipe on the top is supplied with air, it expands and it presses down the pipe below it, causing the flow to stop. And when you connect this air supply to a computer program, it can start and stop the flow according to your needs. Now, imagine this tiny device that can fit on your palm. What if 1,000 flows in that tiny device need to be controlled? That means you require 1,000 valves. And that means 1,000 connections to a device that is on your palm, and it makes it very clunky. Think of multiple wired earphones intertwined in a clutter, only much worse. So to overcome this problem, my research specifically aims at even controlling 1,000 flows with just 20 valves. And this involves coming up with design strategies such that a combination of 2 or 3 valves can control multiple flows. Now, the end goal of my research is to 3D print tiny pipes on a device to study bacteria. But we need to look at the big picture. Remember the doctor I mentioned at the beginning of my speech? Well, my research is just a small step to ensure that any doctor anywhere can create a testing device by 3D printing it at the comfort of their own hospital rooms. Thank you.